If you've been following me for a while, you know that I am a huge fan of taking strategic, targeted supplements before and after surgery to improve outcomes and decrease complications. Yet this is an idea and a concept that is just so misrepresented and miscommunicated on social media. So let's discuss the actual science. Let's start by talking about the RDA and what it is. If you take up a bottle of a supplement or even look on the back of a food product like cereal, you'll see percent RDA. Let's assume we're talking about vitamin D. The RDA is a minimum intake daily set to basically prevent disease, okay? So when you think about your RDA for vitamin D, it's to prevent things like rickets and to prevent you from having diseases that are related to a vitamin D deficiency. So if here's the RDA, anything below it is deficient. But if you want optimal health and wellness, you shouldn't just be aiming for this level. And studies have shown this time and time again. When we think about vitamin C, if this is the RDA and below the RDA, you get rickets. Above the RDA, way above the RDA, you actually can prevent some chronic diseases, even things like cancer. So if we have the RDA, once again, this is not our goal. Our goal is to be above the RDA. And importantly, that is for your day-to-day life. So not when you're under stress, not when you have a trauma, and not when you're preparing for surgery. So if you have an event in your life like surgery, your baseline needs goes through the roof. So you no longer need that RDA. You need substantially higher than the RDA. And we've already talked about the fact that the RDA is not where our goal is. Our goal is already higher than the RDA. So when you see all these posts on social media saying, oh, you don't need to take a protein supplement, you're not deficient, we're not talking about a deficiency. A deficiency is a disease state. We want to optimize, which is above the RDA, above what is recommended. Does that make sense? It's so commonly misinterpreted on social media. The other thing to think about is that when you're using supplements for surgery, it really is, once again, just for a short period of time. Maybe 4 weeks before surgery, 4 weeks after surgery. I'm not telling you to go on these supplements for the rest of your life. I do believe that some supplements should be taken from the rest of your life, and I personally take some supplements every day, things like vitamin D, creatine, probiotics. That's for a different reel. But this is a really important concept to understand if you are going to supplement wisely, strategically, efficiently, and use your money wisely around the time of surgery. Let me know if that makes sense.